Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Funnies Review. I'm Desmond Gillick, and you're watching the Sunday Funnies Review. It is the week of March 10th, 2020, and happy Mother's Day. We're going to start off our Mother's Day edition of the Sunday Funnies Review with the Peanuts rerun. It starts off with Woodstock going, "Mom," and then Snoopy's like, "Oh, that's so sad." Well, actually, wait a minute. I don't have any family. I don't know where my brothers and sisters are. And then he's like, "Where is everybody?" This is actually a pretty sad comic, all in all. Uh, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 on the sadness scale. It's a pretty good Sunday funny, but it's not funny. It's a Sunday saddie. It's a Sunday sad. This is the Zits of the week. It's Happy Mother's Day. Come on, where's the rest? Come on, I know you like printed something out. This is made of macaroni. And he's like, "I had Dejan make you a necklace to match your eyes. Even when I'm one step ahead of him, I'm a mile behind." I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's a pretty alright comic. It's the first triple C of the week, and it's not even Mother's Day related. That's so weird. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'm not even gonna bother reading it out. Up next is the Better for Worse. It's pretty good this week. I like the joke of, let's get away from the kids with all that. It looks a bit wordy from the outside, but I like it. I feel like the punchline is pretty good. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Moving to the Garfield this week. Not a very strong Garfield this week. It's like the Ghost of Christmas, past, present, and future, except they're all from Garfield's past and a nightmare. But this one's from underneath the chair, so he's kind of weird. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. One moment for me to flip this over. Sorry I didn't have any small talk for the in-between, Here's the BC of the week, and it's not good. It's like, "Hey, do you have a broom?" "Yeah, I have a broom." And he does some ninja things, and it's like, "I saw a spider." Not funny. 6 out of 10. It's the Hagar the Horrible this week, and this week it's pretty alright. Hagar the Pretty Alright. It just has like a basic setup of we're going on a raid, Shadow Legends, and then they show up. And then they loot, and then it ends on the punchline, and the trip will be a flyby. It's kind of funny. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Nothing all that great this week in terms of the Hagar the Horrible. There's the Wizard of Id this week, and what do you know? It's pretty alright. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Up next is the Mother Goose and Grimm. Funny thing about this week's Mother Goose and Grimm, it's kind of alright. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's a pretty basic setup, but this is an intriguing one to me this week. It's the Doonesbury. It's an Easter joke fused with a quarantine joke, but it's 4 weeks behind Easter. Yikes. And he's on like the Joe Rogan Experience, you got the podcast mics, you got Joe Rogan, you got the Easter Bunny. It's kind of an odd inclusion, but it's a Doonesbury, and it's kind of overtly political. So you know what, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, Now up next is the Family Circus, timeless classic to be sure. It starts off with the mother sleeping, and it's like, "Ooh, we gotta do all this stuff." And then, bada boom, it's a little wholesome at the end. You love you love the Family Circus. It's Mother's Day, 8 out of 10. Up next is the Shoe of the Week. It ends on a "my mom didn't raise no quitter." Give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's kind of funny. Up next is the Blondie of the Week, and I actually really like this ending punchline of "How's your Mother Day going?" Actually, it started out a little shaky. So I'd say It's one of the better blondies. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Up next is this week's Dilbert. Not Mother's Day themed, but it's Dogbert themed. Dogbert, an American staple. He's teaching, what's his name? Asok how to do tech support, and it's kind of funny. He's like, try rebooting your computer. Now do this. Now do that. And of course, the classic Dilbert pan out to the office shot. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Up next is the Marvin of the Week. Here's the thing about the Marvin of the Week. Marvin is a child with parents, and yet it's not even Mother's Day themed on Mother's Day. The ending punchline isn't all that great. It's like an independence joke. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Really disappointed that most of these aren't Mother's Day themed, Like, you should have the slam dunk of, oh, here's a massive holiday on a Sunday. I'm a Sunday funnies writer. Why don't I write the Sunday funnies, But anyway. Up next is the Baby Blues of the Week. But it's like mom's the original first responder. I don't know about that one. Saying that like moms do all of these things, so why do law enforcement even matter? Kinda. I don't know. It's not really like that. But I'll give it a 6. Actually, no. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. That's kind of wholesome. Up next is this week's High and Lois. And it's like, here's what the Baby Blues did when it showed all the parenting traits, but like a little worse. Well, actually a bit better, because I really like the like some of these, And then it ends on a nice little punchline. Except mommy tasking isn't funny as a pun, but you know what? I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. Very wholesome. 100. Up next is the week's Sally Forth. I actually proofread the Sally Forth, and it's not all that bad. It's like, wow, you actually woke me up. Let me sleep in, And then it's like, why is there a waffle maker underneath my bed? And then it's like, oh, I made a French bread casserole overnight, except I started it 1 hour ago. Very funny. I actually cracked a smile at the not the High and Low, it's the Sally Forth this week. I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Up next is this week's Close to Home. It's kind of funny, and that it's like a woman in a guy suit, but it's Mother's Day, so I don't know why he wouldn't do a Mother's Day theme. Come on, John McPherson, McPherson. How would you pronounce that last name? Fearson? Let me know in the funny comment section down below. Really, this is a pretty funny comic. I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. And then to round it off, the Born Loser of the week. This is actually the worst comic of the week. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It ties with Garfield for the worst. And for best comic of the week, I forget what I was ranking them as I was going along. But I think best comic of the week might just be... Let's crack her open again, huh? I want to go with a Mother's Day themed one. Yeah, let's go Family Circus. I'll give the Family Circus the win for this week. I don't know what I gave it earlier, but I don't think I gave it an 8.5, but if I did, then good on me. And I'll go put this comic in the pile. A very successful week, all in all. And thank you for watching the Sunday Funnies review. I was Desmond Gillick, and that was the Sunday Funny review. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.